Well, hello, and what can I do for you, sir?
Do you happen to have any teleporters for sale?
Teleporters, huh? I think I have something in the back. Let me find it for you.
Take your time, no worries at all.
All right, found one in the back. Now, I gotta ask, you're not gonna do anything illegal with this, right?
Welcome to illegal Kinessa spots. Bet you're wondering, what counts as an illegal Kinessa spot? Why are you making this? Who are you? Great question. I don't know any of them. What I can tell you that these spots are filthy, they're disgusting. And for your own safety, I don't actually know if you're even allowed to use these. I kind of just know that they exist. So use them at your own discretion. I am not responsible for any of the shenanigans you attempt to do, but just bear in mind, I don't know if these are even allowed to be used in game. I just know that you can do them. So, use them at your own risk and be safe and don't do anything too stupid. Welcome to Ascension Peak, our first map, the first spot. Not really a crazy spot, but it is kind of funny to just kind of sit on the tree. Not something people would really expect. If you know what you're doing and you get the teleport up there just right and you hit it, you have a good vantage point, but it's more of a funny spot than anything. I guess you can get some kind of value out of it, but it's nothing too crazy. Second spot is another treat spot. Yeah, you just kind of find the teleporter right at the tip of the tree and then you just teleport into it. They just let you do that for free, apparently. I mean, I'm not against it, but hey, it is what it is. You can shoot through it, see through it, but they can also see you, so be careful. Right, so the next spot is a little bit of a more illegal one, and this is where things get a little crazy. So, aiming at that circle from back here, you put your little teleport over it, and you fall into this spot, and there you are. All of a sudden, bugged onto the top of the map. Not very top, but it's a spot. You got a good vantage point, and it's pretty funny. Next spot is another pretty simple one. This is the other tree. You'll notice that like all the trees around this map are all the exact same, to be honest. They're nothing really anything fancy, but all of them have a nice little flat hitbox on the top you can just kind of stand on. And gives you a good vantage point, honestly, other than the other tree. So, on to the next one. This is the window spot. Now, you've probably seen this. A lot of people use it. It's pretty easy to get to. It's just this only window seal right here in this corner is nice and flat. You can stand on it and you can see just about everything around you, As long as you look to the sides, you can see both angles and you can see point. It's honestly a really good spot. It's really good for more characters other than just Kinessa, but she's one of the characters that can use it. It also works for the exact same other side. It's pretty good for pushing or defending, whichever you really choose. The only real difference is it's just the opposite side of the map. Now, this spot's a little bit more difficult to get into, so you got to be a little careful with it. It'll bounce you out real easy, but it does give you left lane or right lane, depending on which side you're on, and it is a pretty good vantage point. You can actually see the little cubby hole right there and see a little bit of the enemy push, but it's not too crazy, and it does bob you up and down. Same thing for the other side of the map. This is the exact same spot, just on the other side. You got to be a little bit more precise on this side of the map for some reason. Not every side is the exact same. It's a little weird, but you can, in fact, see over. So it is basically the same spot, just inverse side. Now, the next spot is a little bit more difficult. And by that, I mean is another tree. I'm kidding. You literally just get on the tree. It's nothing fancy. You just stand on the tree and you get there. However, there is that little clipping right there, if you ever want to try that. But you can clip to that ceiling just a little bit, but it is not that helpful. Another spot right here is a new one that I actually found, and you can get on this corner. Not really useful, but I guess it'd be good to evade a flank or something, or maybe just confuse them. But I actually hadn't found any real use for it, considering the plant is right in your way. And welcome to Fish Market. Nothing too fancy here. There are just some funny spots I do want to go over. The first one being directly to your left outside of spawn. I believe this is for both sides. I only tested this one. You can just jump over this wall and just stand over here. I never really thought to look back here, but apparently you can just stand back here. And it's not just this spot either. There are some other areas you can go, but it kind of works. Like a little bit of protection. You can stand on this wall and you see the entire enemy push. It kind of works. A little dumb, but it does kind of work. The next one is just another spot outside of the wall that you'd never really think to look at. You obviously can look over that wall there, but you can stand on the other side of it. Now, I don't know why you would do this, but I guess if you're a flank, you can jump back over the wall. But it is kind of just a weird spot to be able to go to. And so the next spot, I believe this is the fish spot. Yeah, so this is the classic fish spot. A lot of people know about this. It's nothing fancy, but you just kind of gently guide your cursor up and then you just stand on the fish. I mean, it's fish spot, yeah. You stand on fish. Now, the next one, a lot of people know about this one. It's not really illegal. It's just kind of there, and people don't really pay attention to it. There's literally just a ledge. It doesn't really benefit you much, but it's just a ledge. If you want to stand on it, there you go. I don't think it benefits you any, but there's a ledge for you. I guess if you want to evade someone, it'll work. Now, this one, a lot of people know about it. I would say it's an illegal spot. You basically just clip onto the side of this building. It only works on that exact corner, though. It does not work on the other corner. You can fall off of it if you're not careful, but you can just jump back up it like I saw there. And it's honestly pretty good. You see a lot of the map, and you get point and push. And it does work on both sides. I will show in a clip in a second. But honestly, it's pretty worth it. Now, this is the other fish, just showing it does work. You can just look up and gently guide your cursor down if you really want. And there you go. Fish spot. So here we are showing the other side, just to prove that you can't do it on both sides. You literally just go teleport to the corner, and boom, there you go. You have point and you have push. So it does work on both sides. It's still the exact same vantage point, really good. And this is just to show that, yes, the ledge does work on this side as well. It does exist. All right, on to our next map. We have Frozen Guard. Probably one of the craziest ones, to be honest. So right at a spawn on this side of the map, you can already just teleport onto this little ledge and hold a key to like keep yourself on that corner. It's pretty funny, to be honest. It doesn't work on the other side of the map, though. It's only this one, but it gives you a really good vantage point. You can see straight from enemy push, and you can see to the left a little. It's honestly really nice. Now for the next one, it's not really useful, but I guess it's kind of funny. If you guide your crosshair up really gently, you can teleport onto the top of this thing. It is super slippery though, so you got to be a little careful. It will just kind of push you off as it gently like coaxes you into a direction, and then you just kind of fall and you might just flat out die. Now the next spot, this is where things get a little bit more interesting, is you can actually get on all the statues in the map. Like any of the statues, like these small animal statues, you can stand on, including the ones like next to point. So these four you can stand on, and they do work pretty well. You know, you can use them, but you're still pretty exposed. But this is where things get actually illegal. See that roof? Yeah, you can get on that. You can actually stand on it, and it's a flat surface. As long as you don't go too far forward or backwards, it works just fine. And you can stand on all the houses that look like that one. And there's only these two in particular that you can. So you can see me loop around here and go to this side. And yeah, same thing. You can just stand on that. They just never thought to, you know, I guess make it actually a triangle. So you have free reign over this map entirely. You can see everything but directly on point. That little building just kind of protects everything. And you'll see here, it's the exact same thing on this side of the map. Literally just go and teleport onto the roof and you're just here. So I guess if you want to like hit the backline or something, you can totally do it. But you know, same concept, same area, just other side of the map. Boom, you're just there. And if you jump, you can actually see enemies spawn. So if you want to be really cheeky and they're holding up really tight up there, like there's a Strix guarding it, you just come up here and just jump shot them. It's literally that easy. But on to the next one. This is where things are a little weird, is you can clip into the statue and you hold your movement keys backwards. So it'd be like your A and D key if you want to do what I'm doing here. And you just, you know, get bugged into this corner and you're just here and you can see a little bit of left lane, a little bit of right lane, and a little bit of point. But it's the exact same thing on this side. A little bit different with the movement keys you got to hold, but you literally just clip into the statue and you just stand there. And now you have left side, right side, and a little bit of point. Like it's something, all right. And you can shoot them and they can shoot you, but you're just there and no one would expect that. And you can glide a little bit. That's just kind of like holding movement keys to move over a little, and the sword can protect you. Right, so the next map is Ice Mines. There's only one spot. It's not that special. I guess if you want to like sneak up on someone or like they're pushing in, you can get there and kind of, I guess, hide. It works, but I mean, anyone can get here. You just got to stand here. It's flat surface, so it's nothing fancy, I guess. But I guess if you want to sneak up on somebody, it works. Otherwise, it's just kind of useless. All right, so our next map is going to be Serpent Beach. Honestly, I didn't expect this to have anything, but it had some amazing spots. First one, you go in this corner at your spawn, and you aim right over this rock, and boom, you just get wedged up there. And you can just shoot down just fine. It's crazy. But you don't have to hold any directional keys. You just kind of get lodged in that little rock, and it works out perfectly. This one's a little bit more difficult. This will push you out like 9 out of 10 times, but when you do get it, you kind of just get lodged in this corner, and you have to hold a directional key to like push against the wall to keep from falling out. Kinessa doesn't get much value, but like maybe a buck could, or like getting a preemptive jump out of there. But you never know. Now, this is not really a spot, more of like a tech you can do. The outside of this map, if you jump teleport, so jump as you hit your teleport, you can actually jump over that wall and go immediately to pushing. This works for the other side. I have a clip of that as well later. But this is the illegal spot. This is something that you should not be allowed to do. This is probably like the worst one. And it's literally just on that rock outside of the map. You can just teleport onto it. And you get lodged between these two rocks. And boom, you're just there. It doesn't have the best vantage points, but it does work. You know, you get something out of it. And you can see all left lane. I would get a 7 out of 10. Mainly just because it's cool. On to the next one, though. You can teleport onto the serpent's head. You have to hold a directional key, though. But you are covered by the frill. If you'll see the frill, like, right below my crosshair. That does protect, like, the lower half of your body, making it way harder to hit you. And you can just chill there. So if you get point first, you can just kind of relax. And same thing. Instead of being on the dragon's head, you can get on its neck. You just get right lodged in that corner, hold your directional key. You're not protected by the frill, but you are lodged in that corner and completely protected on your backside. You can hold it for as long as you want. Just gotta be a little careful with, your movement keys. Clip I talked about a second ago, just jump, teleport, boom, you're over the wall, and you can, engage in the fight immediately. It's honestly pretty good. But on that same side of the map, I showed earlier that you can get on that spot out of spawn. This is basically the exact same thing, but on the other side of the map. The rock's a little different, so the spot's a little different. But right above that plant, you can get lodged right on this corner of the rock, and boom, it's basically the exact same thing, just the other side of the map. Now, with the next map, we have Shattered Desert. There wasn't really much on this map, but there was some funny ones that I kind of liked. So, starting off from this side of the map, you have your left and right. Going immediately to your left, though, sort of closer to like mid, you'll see this just slow sand. You can't really do anything. But right out there, there's just that bone. And yep. Yeah. You can just stand on that. That's just an object that is there, and it's completely flat, and you can jump on it. You can snipe from it. It's just there, and it just always has been. And same thing for the right side. Is you go to the right side, and there's not one, there's two. You see me go to the right now here, and then slowly but surely making it through the sand, and you see that small one right there in the middle. You can just teleport to that. It takes a little bit of maneuvering, but yeah, you actually just stand on that above the fire, and it doesn't instantly kill you. So I guess kind of like an out of the map bug, but hey, it works. And literally same side of the map, a little bit further to the left is this bone right here. This is probably the worst one of the three, but yep, same thing. You can just stand on it. And honestly, none of these serve any purpose. They're just kind of funny. Yeah, for the next one, we have Split Stone. Probably one of the most atrocious maps for me. Straight out of spawn, this applies to both sides in this corner. You can literally just teleport onto this little thing, little ledge, and you can't shoot through it, so it's not like an unfair advantage or anything, but you are hidden and they can shoot your toes, but you can't really get anything out of it. On to this side, this works both sides, I'll show you in a second, but you can actually teleport onto this left side of the crane, and it will gently push you in whichever direction you're looking. So you kind of got to manage which keys you press, but it does give you some really good vantage points, and you can see just about all of the side lane. On to the next one, you can see it's the exact same thing, just on over there. You teleport over to the crane, and boom, you're just there. You can see me looking down. You can see the very gentle movements. That's the crane trying to push me off, but from there, you're just fine. And then there's this one. This was probably the worst one for me to get. You will never get this normally. It's like a 1 in 30 to even bug into the right spot. It took me like 30 minutes alone just to get there, but it is possible holding a directional key. You can sit there, and it does work. It's not really useful, but it does exist, and it's something. You know, you can stall there if you really want to. On to another one. This is a really illegal spot. You just stand on there, and the movement is not me. I'm not touching any movement keys. That is the map trying to force me out of that spot. But the two guards on the side keep me locked in, and you will move like in the direction you're looking, so it will eventually push you out. But the exact same thing, or the other side, sorry. You just teleport over there once I get my crosshair lined up, and it will just try to launch you back and forth. And it'll keep doing this until it throws you off. But as long as you like manage where you're standing and where you're looking, you'll be fine. It gives you like basically full range of both sides, you know, depending on where your character. Now to one of our final maps, Stone Keep. Probably the one with the most spots, definitely. I wouldn't say they're all beneficial, but they're all really good. First one is lining up my crosshair, and you can actually kind of lodge yourself in between these spikes on the roof. This works for like this whole building, like any of those spikes that are protruding like on that kind of building asset, you can just lodge yourself in between, and you'll see like I go through all of them. To get out of them, you can like spam jump and run. I use teleporters because I have the cooldown reduced a bunch. So you'll see me just go through each and every one of them and just kind of get stuck. You'll see the bobbing. If you've seen that in a bunch of spots, I'll explain that later in the video. But just know it doesn't really impact much. Yeah, back to the other side, it's the exact same thing. You can just lodge yourself right there in between that spikes, and it works perfectly. And then the exact same thing on the other side. The vantage points you get from these are honestly really good for defending a lane, you know, or even attacking a lane, just depending on what you want to do. It does give you a lot of, you know, just field of view. You'll see right in front of us is another spot right on this ledge. You go to the corner, and you can get right there, and you just look up, and then you jump teleport up it, and just hold your movement keys and try to lodge yourself behind that thing, and you get stuck. You don't have to hold anything after that. Once you get stuck in that corner, you're there. And you honestly just can't move either. The only way you can get out is teleporter or by pure luck. Same thing for the other side of the map. This one's a little different. You have to get right in the corner and then move to the left a little bit and then jump telly and then try to lodge yourself in that corner. And then again, you're perfectly still. And then you don't have to hold any more keys. So that one works well. And then another same side or different side of the map, just going through the spikes that you can actually stand on. Not really stand on, but get lodged in between. It works the exact same way as the other side of the map. You just kind of lodge yourself in between. It's nothing fancy, but honestly, it's really good. It works fantastically. You are really exposed when you do it, but you can always hope that like the red like border around you kind of blends in with the roofs, and you know they just don't immediately shoot at you. But for like a first impression type deal, you could totally get away with it. Same thing on this corner. You just jump in that corner, and then, you know, you have the full lane right in your view. And the only thing they can really do is kind of shoot you out. But if they're on the far side, you have plenty of range over them, and you can definitely just tank the damage and keep pressuring. Same thing, this side of the map. Less useful, but I guess if you really want to be funny, kind of hide up there when people are like coming out of their spawn. It kind of works. Same with this side. Just kind of chill there. This one's a little bit better though. You can see the whole lane, but from like a corner angle. So you do have a little bit of protection from the left, so you don't really get shot from there. It does work, and kind of same concept, but inverse sides on this one. You can see that left lane a little bit, and you can see spawn. but you can't really see like the actual lane itself. Then we have this spot. I discovered this a long time ago on accident with 7. You can just, there's just a ledge there for some reason. It doesn't work on the other side of the map. It's only this side for some reason. You can just walk up here. I don't know how it exists, but it does. And you can just kind of chill there. Then this isn't really a spot, more of just something you can do as a Kinessa. The roof of this area is not covered. You can literally just teleport over it. So you place your teleporter and just jump teleport and boom, you're flanking. And you get like a master riding or something and just go over it. It's that easy and boom, you're flanking. So it's an easy pick, you know, if you have ult or something, you're willing to stir stuff up. It does work. Right, so Timber. The map everyone hates because of snipers. I hate it too. But honestly, I was really disappointed with Timber. It did have 2 big spots. This one is kind of one. Kinessa doesn't really have the range to capitalize on it, despite being a sniper. She does actually have a point where her shots don't do damage. They just fizzle out. But you can get back here and you can snipe from there. Same thing here. You can kind of jump and lodge yourself in that corner with your directional keys. And it doesn't really give you any sort of good vantage point, but it does exist. You can get there. But, I mean, if you really want to flank with it, you can kind of like hide there as Vatu, and then, you know, hit the back line pretty hard. Same thing, other side of the map. Literally just jump, teleport in the corner, lodge yourself there, and boom, you're chilling. You don't have to hold your directional keys once it lodges you. You'll know when it lodges you, it'll just not do anything to your character. You'll be floating. And then another one, the exact same thing, just other side of the map. Right on top of this little building, you just lodge yourself in the corner and boom, there you are. Like I said, it does work, but it's just not the best. Warder's Gate, oh, Warder's Gate. Probably one of my least favorite maps. It didn't really have anything on it, but it did have a really cool bug in the map that I thought was really fun. If you teleport on that ledge, sometimes it'll like jump you up here and you can kind of levitate on this ceiling. It's super difficult to do. I don't recommend trying it. 9 out of 10 times, it'll slingshot you. I got a clip showing that in just a moment. But you can actually sit on top of that building. It's very difficult to get, but it is possible. This is what the slingshot looks like. You get up there and 9 out of 10 times, it'll just throw you back. It's not really that useful, but if you do get on that building, it is pretty cool. And then there's just, this is the only real spot that I really found. You literally just, this side of the map, you can just get on that corner. No rhyme or reason, just you can get on that corner. I mean, it has good vantage point, but it's nothing game breaking. But you can see practically both lanes, and it's not bad, but it does work, you know? And honestly, all these spots are somewhat in their own right viable, although some of them a little better than others, some a little worse, some a little gimmicky, some a little funny. They are spots that are probably not intended. And so do with this info as you will. I mean, I can't tell you not to use them, but I can warn you that there may be repercussions. I haven't gotten this validated or anything. I just, you know, this video's been in the works for a while, and honestly, I've just been wanting to make it, to post it. But yeah, I mean, if you did enjoy this kind of thing, I don't really know what I'd do to like even kind of keep this thing going. Maybe some weird interactions between champions or anything, but honestly, I had a ton of fun making this video. Like, thank you to all the homies that like actually chilled with me for the hour, 2 hours it took to get all these clips, because some of them were terrible. Some of them were like actually super difficult to get into just because it felt so RNG based. I've never sat and taken the time to like try and get each of the individual spots like down to a science. For the viewers out there, if you really want to, you know, by all means, you can go and get it down to a science, perfect these if you really will. But you know, for the casual viewer that's like, man, this is kind of cool, you know, it's like, heck yeah, it's kind of cool. You can get away with it pretty easily. But again, thank you for watching this video. Honestly, it took a while to make it, but I did make it. I think I made it all in like one night, including all the recording and all the editing. So it's a little sloppy, a little tired, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. All the spots are at your disposal now. There's probably more that I don't even know about. Probably some that like one person in the world might know. And if you do know that spot, I didn't cover it, but you know how to get to it with Kinessa, by all means, let me know. Join my Discord. I'll put it in the link in the description. Join that. Just come chill. Like, show me the spots. Put it in my clips chat. DM me. Show me the cool stuff. I'd love to see just like the weird nuances on these maps. They're so funny and they're so broken. You can't help but love them. But yeah, I mean, shoot, if you ever want to catch this stuff on like a live time, I do stream. YouTube is a secondary. I do stream on Twitch. The Twitch name is the exact same as my YouTube name. I will put the link in the description as well as my Discord. I highly recommend you drop a follow. If you really feel like you can sub, I'm not gonna tell you no. But I really would appreciate like a sub on the YouTube and then a follow on the Twitch if you want to catch me up with more stuff. And again, I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching the video. I mean, I'm probably gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. And best of luck in your Kinessa games. Peace.